Okay, class, let's solve another one of these problems. For this example, I have a rectangular prism here. However, there's a cutout. It looks almost like a box. There's another rectangular prism cut out of this rectangular prism here. So a smaller rectangular prism is cut out from a big rectangular prism. First things first, big rectangular prism. I'm going to solve for that one first. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for the easy stuff first. So the front plus the back looks pretty easy to solve. So the front is going to be 12 times 5. And if I multiply it by 2, I should get the area of the back as well. So 12 times 5 is 60 times 2. That's going to be 120 centimeters squared. Okay. The next one I'm going to solve for that looks easy is going to be the left and the right side, because the left is the same as the right side. So in this case, it looks like I have 10 times 5 for the left side. So I'm going to multiply by 2 to get the right side. So 10 times 5 is 50. 50 times 2 is going to be 100. So I got 100 centimeters squared. Okay. Now I'm going to solve for the bottom. So for the bottom, I have 12 times 10. 12 times 10 is 120. Now finally, I'm going to solve for the top here. The top is the one with something cut out of it. So technically speaking, the top should be the same as the bottom initially. It initially starts as 12 times 10, right? But however, now I have to subtract something that's being cut out. We have to figure out what area the top shape here for this rectangle is. Well, first things first, it looks like everything here is 2. So if this whole thing is 12, and this is 2, right? That's 2. And this side is 2. Oh, I'll think about it here. You basically have 12 here, 2, and then 2. So 2 cm, 2 cm, 12 minus 2, this would have to be 8 centimeters. Because if you add them all together, 2 plus 8 plus 2 is 12. So this must be 8 right here, right? And now let's look at this other length here. If I cut this here and cut this here, this side is 2, this side is 2, and this whole thing is 10. So essentially, I must have, once again, 2 cm, 2 cm, and this must be 6 cm because 2 plus 6 plus 2 is 10. So this side here should be 6. So I'm going to write 6 cm. This side must be 8 cm. And it's going to cover these dimensions here. So that's for that smaller rectangle. So I initially have 12 times 10, but I have to subtract 8 times 6 to find the area of the top. Because like I said, the bottom is the same as 12 times 10. The bottom is the same as the top, but the top just has this rectangle cut out from it. So I'm going to subtract 8 times 6 from it. So 12 times 10 is going to be 120. 8 times 6 is 48. So if I subtract that, I should get 120 minus 48 is going to be 72. So the top area is going to be 72 here. Now I'm just going to focus on, gonna draw some lines here to divide this up. Now I'm going to focus on the inside of this box here. So I'm going to call this the small rectangular box inside the big rectangular prism. So I'm just doing this to keep my thoughts organized. So if I make a mistake, I can go back and check where I made that mistake. So inside that small rectangular box, it looks like there's a bottom, right? So I'm going to solve for that bottom. Now, would you agree? If 8 times 6 is cut out from the top, if you look at the bottom, that should have the same dimension as what the top would have been. So it's still 8 times 6. So my bottom area is simply 8 times 6, which is 48. Okay, I just solved for the bottom. The only thing left now is the sides here. So the front side and the back side. The front side and the back side look the same, so we can solve for that. So I'm just going to call this the front plus back for the small rectangular box. Here I see it's about 3 centimeters deep, and if I know this length here is 8 now, it should just be simply 8 times 3. So 8 times 3 to find the area of the front of that side for the inside of that small rectangular box. And I'm gonna multiply it by 2 because I want the front and the back. So 8 times 3 is 24, times 2 would be 48. Now I want to find the left and the right side inside of that box. So left plus right. And that should be all my sides here. So the left here and the right side here. We know it's still 3 centimeters deep inside, and this is 6 centimeters. So simply 3 times 6 should get me the area of the left side. I'm going to multiply it by 2 to get the right side as well. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 times 2 is going to be 36. So I got 36 centimeters squared. And now I find the total. Total surface area is when I just simply add everything together. Let's zoom out a little bit here. We'll start from the big rectangular prism. For the front and back of the big rectangular prism, I have 120. I'm going to add it to the left and the right side of that big rectangular prism. I'll add it to the bottom of the big rectangular prism. Then I'll add the top area of that big rectangular prism. Now I simply add the bottom area of the small rectangular box that's been inside of it. I add the area of the front and back inside here. And I add the area of the left and right side for the small box inside of the big rectangular prism. I add everything together and I should get 544 centimeters squared. I'm going to zoom out so you can see everything more clearly, okay? Or sorry, so you can see everything as a full picture. And there you go.